Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a great day. A few of you guys last night were asking me about layoffs, so today I thought I would give you guys some time and talk about what's happening so you guys have an idea of when you guys should feel a little bit more concerned about what's happening with all these news reports of layoffs here, all right? So, first things first, this was the big breaking news today. UPS announces 12,000 job cuts, says package volume slipped in the last quarter. We're just going to be going over basically what happened here. It'll take about a minute. And then we're going to be going over here to another page where we're talking about all the layoffs that have been happening in tech and what that pretty much means for the economy going forward. So basically, like I just said, they fell short of estimates. That's causing them to be down about 7.5% right now. Not looking too good for UPS. On top of that, they announced 12,000 layoffs as a part of an effort to align resources in 2024. Now, this goes on further saying, uh, you know, because they laid off 12,000 employees, remember, these are union workers, they're very highly paid, it's going to save them about $1 billion in cost every year. That is a lot of money. It's not just salary, it's everything along that goes along with it. But the company is about to save $1 billion a year just for laying off 12,000 people. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you guys are hearing about layoffs in the future. These companies are saving a lot of money by just laying people off. Now, this is something that I thought was pretty interesting, and it just kind of goes back to that feeling that companies are taking back control. COVID, the worker had a bunch of control. The government was paying people to stay home. If there was no good jobs, just stay home. The government's going to pay you. It was very nice, very lucrative for a lot of people out there, and they were able to learn new skills that they can get better jobs with about right now. But the CEO also added that the company is planning to ask workers to return to the office 5 days a week in 2024. Funny enough, I think a lot of companies are doing this not necessarily because it's the most profitable or it's going to get the most out of the employee. I think they all have these contracts that they've signed with these office employers, or these office owners, and they just want to make sure those office owners stay afloat so the overall economy stays healthy. I think that's what's basically happening right now, but that's a tinfoil hat moment. So that's kind of one side of the story here. Shipping is going down internationally and domestically. People are not shipping as much. And even last quarter, which was supposed to be the holiday quarter, it wasn't that great. So just keep that in mind going forward. Now, we can look at some layoffs that are going on right now. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of these, but Google's laying off hundreds. Discord is laying off 170. Discord's on a large staff. Citi is cutting 20,000 jobs for a corporate overhaul. Citi has a lot of fundamental problems going with it right now, though. They really need to modernize and get caught up with all the other banks, or they are going to be left behind, basically like a Credit Suisse almost. Amazon Prime Video and MGM Studios, few hundred jobs there. Twitch is also doing job cuts. Nike's up to $2 billion cost-cutting plan will involve severances. Intel reportedly warned about more cuts in 2024 on top of the 5 rounds it made in 2023. BlackRock is cutting 3% of its staff. BlackRock, that company is making oogles of money. It's literally printing more money than the Fed at this point. They're doing just fine, but they're still doing layoffs. Everybody is worried that in this environment where we're not entirely sure how much higher we can go, we're kind of feeling like a top, we're breaking new highs. If everything is not sparkly, clean, and perfect, you may get hit like a UPS, which is down about 7.5%. And some companies can drastically go down. If you remember just Meta a couple years ago, it was down like 70 to 80%. It was a buying opportunity, of course, but imagine buying before it dropped 70%. You would be pissed off accordingly. Rent the Runway slashing 10% of its corporate jobs. Unity Software 25% of its job. eBay and so forth. Microsoft, Salesforce, Flexport. All these people are laying off workers. But should you guys really be concerned? I would say at this point, not really. This is the United States continuing jobless claims. We get this information all the time. It's very easy to find. I'll put a link down below to it. It's on Trading Economics. You're not going to really get too concerned about this until it starts to break maybe 3,000. We haven't even broken above 2,000 in the last year. And you can see everybody's been fine. The market's been going up. We go over the past 5 years. You can see COVID kind of caused some chaos here. But when we start getting back above 3,000, that will kind of show you guys a trend change, so to speak. See back over here, 10 years, 25 years, 2008, we went all the way up here above 5,000. And, it wasn't that, it was scary at the time, I would say, but looking back, COVID was way worse. But we're nowhere near that level. Remember, everybody was still mad at Obama in 2012 because the economy hadn't gotten back on track. That's that data right there saying, oh yeah, we weren't back to those pre-2008 levels. we are pretty much back at those pre-2020 levels. Trump got the economy revving up even more, just some tax cuts and stuff like that, following what Obama had been doing. And at this point, we're making higher highs right over here, and I know it's hard to see higher highs, but nothing is spiked. If we start to see moves up, like a little trickle up like that, or something a little bit more gradual where we're starting to pump up above 3,000, that's when you're going to see the economy start to buckle a little bit, and that's where you guys might fear your own jobs coming under some form of scrutiny by upper management. But at this point in time, we're just casually going along, again, making higher highs, but things don't look too terrible at this point. We're actually going pretty well sideways, and until we start to see the actual data from majority of places around the country start to pop up a little bit, I don't think you guys have much to be concerned about at this point in time. Again, it's basically you just kind of check on this every few weeks and see what's happening. If something is out of the ordinary, you're going to hear about it on the news before you even check out this article. So, good. Let me know if you guys have any questions. It's pretty, it sucks to be laid off, but at this point, I would say there's a lot of jobs out there, a lot of people looking for corporate office workers. They're usually pretty good startups. You're not going to get as much pay, but you're going to get some stock options and stuff like that. It's an interesting world right now. Thanks.